Are you ready to go all in?
Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
And welcome to the All In Practice Growth Podcast. I am your host, Shane McElroy, and it's a very exciting episode for us today. We are celebrating our 100th episode. And while it is an exciting day, it's also a sad day. A couple days ago, we lost two great legends. First off, Ozzy Osbourne. What a great rock star. Got to watch him on reality TV shows over the years, listen to Chipper Jones walk up to Crazy Train a million times. So that was a sad loss. And then a childhood hero of mine, Hulk Hogan, the shirt ripping god. He passed away as well. So sad day for that, but exciting day today for our 100th episode. And we will honor Hulk Hogan a little bit later and get into some wrestling stuff with our guest. But I'd like to introduce our guest now, who I call the Rock of Dentistry, not just because he's bald, not just because he's jacked, but because everybody freaking likes him. And so welcome to the podcast, Dr. David Wong. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, congratulations on your 100th episode, man. That's awesome.
I know. You've been on like three or
Hey,
four of them, at least
hey,
guest
I really
spots on a
appreciate
couple of them.
yeah, well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure and honor to be on your show, man. I enjoy catching up with you personally, of course, as well as professionally, and you're one of my favorite guys to talk about because you do know about things like wrestling.
I do. I do know things about
Yeah.
wrestling, right? Not like necessarily
So,
important stuff, but like it's important to me. It's important to me.
uh, I love wrestling, man. So I was happy when you were like, "Hey, let's talk wrestling." I'm like, "Let's go."
Yeah, absolutely. And I wasn't just, sometimes I just use this podcast to catch up with some of my buddies because we haven't got to talk in a while. And so some of this episode just might be you and me just catching up, dude. But I do feel like I see
Yeah.
you every day because I do. And literally,
The
what a
poster.
great poster to have right now. The Wong,
Yes. Look at
told you he's
that.
like the Rock of dentistry.
Still accurate.
Dude, how many years ago was that now? Were you speaking for Paul Anderson's group? You came in?
Oh God, man, it's probably 7 years, 7 or 8 years ago. Is that right? Does that sound about right?
It sounds about right. It's been a while, but that was awesome because
Maybe
that
6 or 7
picture,
years ago.
yeah, that picture actually was blown up into a 24 by 36 poster that I gave you in
I still have it.
Atlanta. Well, dude, you also did a great video of you going through the entire Atlanta airport trying to bring that thing back because you couldn't check it. You just had to take it with you the whole
Right.
time. That was
I
a fun
did.
video, my
I
friend.
still have it.
Well,
I still have it. That was fun.
I would expect you to still have it over your mantle or over your bed or something like that. I'm sure your wife's favorite poster there.
It it's actually in the back closet next to the Christmas decorations because we've moved houses since I saw you, so
Oh,
it's still there. I still have it.
well,
I still
next
have
time I
it.
come by, I expect it to be on like the wall in the living room or something like that. I'm sure Jen would love that.
Absolutely, dude. We have nothing on our walls because we have a new house. So yeah, it would be perfect. It would be
Perfection then.
perfect.
Well, for those people who are listening to the podcast, the couple of people that may not know you already, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you, what you do, and who you are?
So my name is David Wong. My online persona, as Shane knows, is Plaquechyna. I am a periodontist. I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've got married to the same person for 25 years in a row,
She's
Jennifer
awesome.
Wong. We got three kids. They're 21, 18, and 17 years old. And like I said, I practice in Tulsa. I do go around the country speaking quite a bit for
Mhm.
various companies and private individuals and groups. I met you through Bio Horizons as well as DIA and
That's
some
right.
other areas, some other people, mutual friends. And yeah, man, ever since we've started talking, man, we just clicked, and I feel like I've known you forever. Actually, it kind of
I know,
shocks me
right?
that I've only actually known you for about 6 or 7 years.
I'd like
So
to think I'm special, but if I meet anybody who has met you, it's the same thing though. They connect with you immediately. And so I think that's actually kind of a gift that you have is you're easy to talk to, you're super approachable. And I don't think you make people really comfortable because I don't feel like you've ever judged anybody or anything for any reason.
Well, coming from my background, I have no room to judge anybody for sure. So I no judgment, man. But no, same can be said for you, man. I feel like I've been at your house, I met your wife.
That's right.
Did Martha just have a? Did she have a birthday or something? Or
In February, it's close enough.
oh, that's right, it's Mike. She shares a birthday with me.
That's
Same
right.
month, February. Yeah, so met your boys. I love all that, man. So I feel like yeah, as far as like being down to earth, you're doesn't get any more down to earth than you, man. Really
Well, we're
appreciate all
both
you
kind
do.
of perverts, and we think second grade humor is hilarious still. So I don't think that hurts either.
I think that's it. That's what it is, man. We don't take it we don't take anything too seriously, you
Well,
know.
I think I disagree with you because I know you. And so I say this about myself a lot. I don't take myself seriously at all, but I take what I do seriously. Like when my job or if I'm focused on something,
Yeah.
I would say it's probably the same for you. You've been pretty successful over the years.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think work-wise, I'm pretty anal about stuff, but there's always got to be a little bit of room for grace, right? To give ourselves a little grace sometimes, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty anal about my work, but I don't take
Well, you're a
myself too seriously.
periodontist. That comes with the
It
territory, my
kind of comes
friend.
with the territory. Yeah, but you got to make it look like, you're easy going. Otherwise, you know,
Well, yeah.
nobody will
Once you
come
get
to you.
outside the mouth, right, you can be a little more easygoing.
Got to let your hair down figuratively.
Well, figuratively for you, for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
All right. Well, before we get into the wrestling stuff, and that is something I definitely want to do.
I
Now,
can't
we
wait.
talked about having
Yeah.
immature humor, like, but I keep seeing online about your fat sack, and I was wondering, is that like a medical condition I should be worried about you about, or what is this issue with your sack?
Dude, so you know me. So when you give 25 lectures a year, and I've been on the lecture circuit since 2008, it came to me probably, thanks to social media. I was like, you know what? I this shit is getting kind of old. Speaking about the same topics over and over and over. Not only that, it's the same generic title. Almost like every dental practice mission statement is the same. Something about quality,
Sure.
something about treating people like family, whatever. And I was like, my lectures are getting kind of stale, but not only mine, everybody else's lectures are getting stale too. Like you go to these meetings, nobody's going into these meetings because they're like, I've heard all that. So what I started doing, and because my target audience is mostly general dentists who have an interest in surgery and implants, I was like, I went back to marketing 101 and which is sex sells. So
It does.
I started, just giving my techniques and my lecture titles a little bit more make them a little
A
bit sexier, a little more
little more
risque.
flair,
I
little Ric
started
Flair.
working I started working a little innuendo like fat sack. So fat sack is it's a technique that I utilize, and I actually did publish it to make it
So
semi-legitimate.
so this
It is
fat sack is
published.
published.
It's
Okay.
published, and it's a root coverage technique on how to cover exposed roots in the aesthetic zone. Excuse me. How to cover roots in the aesthetic zone, um, using a combination of tunnels and flaps and things like that. And you can find it in Inside Dentistry in the September 23 issue.
They had the
But
balls to publish it.
no, they didn't. So
Ah,
it stands for frenectomy anterior tunnel circular access channel, which a total bullshit way to come up with fat sack, just so I could say it. So they wouldn't publish that. They actually caught that during the
wow.
editing, and they actually published the whole like they write it all out.
The whole name instead of the acronym.
Yeah, I wish they'd use the acronym, but they published the whole name,
I
which is
mean,
fine. Which
I
is
get
fine.
it. That's no knocking inside dentistry. They're
You
very
can't.
reputable, so I get it. But at the same time, dude, you would have got some clicks on that article. I guarantee you that.
Bro. But anyway, so I've taken that approach to all my, lectures, my social media, everything. I'm trying to like just make things a little bit more interesting, whether it's a fat sack or, I've renamed a lot of my techniques. And they're not my techniques, they're other
Well,
just
sure,
generic techniques. I've just kind of repackaged them and given them funny names to, get people's interest and attention, but it also helps them learn too, because,
of
they may
course.
not know
They're not going to
anything about
forget
the
that acronym.
but they'll
ever.
go fat sack. Like that's and they can visualize it because a lot of what I do, when I talk to people is storytelling. I like to tell stories, give backgrounds about my patients and how we came up with the certain technique and how we've approached certain things a certain way and why. And it just gives them that word picture association so they can remember and learn better. So
Well, now
that
I'm picturing
that's
one of
me.
your students back in their practice, like visualizing a fat sack while they're working on a patient
Yeah,
in their
yeah,
mouth. That's. I got to do a post on that. I think I got to figure
dude.
that one out.
So recently I've discovered Chat GPT, and
Hmm.
I'm having Chat GPT do all like the animations and like funny like
Sure. Yeah.
logos for like fat sack. So like
Oh yeah.
fat sack, I kind of envisioned like a squirrel sitting on a big bag of nuts,
Yeah.
you know. So just like every little technique, I think I came up with like 12 of them the other day.
Oh,
It's
I
on
bet if
my
you put you and me in a room for like 20 minutes, we'd
Oh
have a
my
hundred of them.
God, dude. I had 12 in like 15 minutes and I was just going, "Hey chat, give me give me a cartoon, something about Sticky Bone." And it did it, and I was like, "Oh, oh yeah, it's hilarious,"
Nice.
And then I was like, "Well, how about this one?" And within minutes I had like 12 of them.
Oh, and the
So
more you
anyway,
feed it, the better the output will be too.
so it starts to understand your humor
Oh yeah.
and it's awesome. So anyway, I've been incorporating all that into lectures and stuff. Of course, I can't do them in like lectures like for an implant company because, of course, they have lawyers and
I
people.
mean, you could, but you may not be coming back again if you if you did it.
Exactly, but it's great for social media. It's great for meetings like DIA or
Oh yeah.
small study clubs, private things that are one offs. So I do yeah, I pull it
Has
off
it
quite a
ever
bit.
backfired at you on you at a lecture? Has somebody come up and be like, "I'm so offended."
I think a long time ago it did. Whenever like 2008 to 10, I've been doing this for a long time, and I used to have people like email me and this was back in the days of like old school like snail mail, fax machines and all this stuff. People would actually call my office and get mad, like I can't believe you would use something like you're demeaning our profession and making it cheap, or whatever. But I haven't had that in a while. I think a lot of it has to do with age. Whenever I was 30 years old, people I had hair and looked boyish like you do now. So I feel
Oh,
like
thanks.
people felt like they could say stuff like that. And I feel like now that I'm 50, they're less inclined to be able to feel like they think that they could influence my actions.
Do you think it's that, or you just not give a fuck?
I don't give a fuck. But like you said, I
Well,
work
I
for
know
a lot
you
of
care
companies.
about people.
Yeah,
You would
yeah.
never do it purposely to hurt
No, no,
somebody. But
no, no, no.
like I just at
I
my age too, I'm 43. I don't like if you don't like me or I said something off-putting,
yeah.
sorry.
It's actually
Whatever.
yeah, I mean, I respect everybody that I work for. Like I've got several contracts with bigger companies and stuff and KOLs for like several other companies that I respect their brand and kind of the vibe that they're trying to keep up. So I'm not gonna like ruin it over me trying to work in fat sack or something like that. But
Sure.
if I'm at DIA or if I'm at a meeting with
Oh
with
yeah.
just with just me and you and 20 other periodontists, I'm gonna let it fly. They know who I am and
Yep.
and they like it. They think it's funny. The hard part nowadays is I'll get approached probably at least once a month with a new company and they're like, we love, what you're doing online. We love your Instagram. We love that fat sack thing. That shit was funny. That sticky bone thing, that was funny. Love that, We want
But
we want you. No, they'll be
but
like, we want to hire you to do this. So they'll be like, shoot us a video, do a presentation for us. And I'm like, okay, okay. They love this Plaque China thing. I'm doing it. I'll shoot them a presentation or a video, and inevitably they'll come back like, can you be less you? Maybe go with this. Maybe go with this title. I'm like, well,
After the attorneys at HR got a hold
yeah.
of it, that's
It's
when everything
always
comes
it's
back.
always attorneys, HR, marketing, and people like that. And a lot of these companies, don't forget, they're not just based in the United States. They might be based,
Sure.
in Germany or Sweden or whatever. So there's different things that you have to consider. And they'll come back like, well, we actually do want it to be less plaque China ish and maybe more dental school professorish. So I'll still get that job, but then I'm like, well, why, I don't know why
Yeah,
you
you
guys,
want well, I
why'd you
understand
why'd
when
you
they
find me?
hire you for one thing and then want this other thing later. You're like, well,
Yeah, I get it.
come on.
I don't care if
Yeah.
the check cash is the same, so I don't give a shit.
Well,
But
hell yeah.
but from a creative perspective, I'm like, I
Oh
don't
yeah.
understand why you hunted me
You
down.
try to get a laugh in there too, because like once you got enough lectures like you've been to and done, like you were saying, it gets repetitive and like you want to lighten the mood some. And actually, I think the authenticity or talking the way you actually talk to like your friends or real people, it's kind
Hmm.
of a breath of fresh air in many ways. At least that's always been my experience. Like, cause like if I did the podcast like stiff, I do this the way I talk to anybody, which is crazy,
Right, right,
but
right.
that's how I've always been. It's worked for me. You know, I don't turn this on or talk dirty or like say cuss words because I'm trying to get you know, a
A
click or
rise
something
out of
like that. That's
people,
how I
yeah.
talk. Yeah.
And there are some people who do that, right? Like, hey, I'm just going to throw in the gratuitous F bomb in there just to do it. And I'm like, it didn't really fit, but okay.
It just
Um,
comes off unnatural.
it comes off unnatural for sure. But anyway, I don't know. I try to be myself for sure. But yeah, creatively, I always ask a lot of questions of these companies and the direction they're heading, but it's okay.
All right. Well, I want to turn the topic a little bit now. So you've been on social media, like let's say Instagram, since when?
I think I
For
started.
your practice,
Yeah, I think I started it in 2017. Yeah,
2017, which is
yeah,
fairly early on Instagram, especially for
fairly.
dentistry in general, right? So
Yeah,
you've got a pretty strong following both on Plaque China, but what your other accounts was it Dr. David Wong or is it David Wong
David
DDS?
David.wong.dds. But
And you've got
Shane,
yeah,
I've and you guys have probably experienced this too. I've had like just total stagnant growth. The last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. Like I haven't really grown a lot. I think in 2017 I was growing like crazy. I'd post anything.
sure.
I'd post a black screen and you'd get like 300 likes and another 100 followers, and you're like, why? But whatever. And nowadays, I think people's attention spans have either gotten shorter, and then they've also seen a lot to where they're like, it's the same old thing. But yeah, our my social media account hasn't grown a whole lot.
Well, I can tell you why that
But
is, right? Because you did that all organically, right? So I don't
yeah,
think you did a lot of ads on there. Probably, you probably didn't boost anything. You did it all organically, correct?
right, right. And it
So,
worked at first.
well, the reason it worked at first was because they've changed the algorithm so much, right? So this happens on every single social media platform. So when a platform is fairly new, right? Like an Instagram, especially in dentistry, was pretty new then. So like a post that you would do would go to like thousands of people that didn't follow you, and it would go to all of the people who currently follow you. Now,
Right,
you might get 1 to 2% of your followers get to see your video organically, unless they actually go to your account,
right,
and then a fraction of that uh, outside of that, right? So because they have the ability to do ads and they own this platform and there's so much content on there, it's like every platform. It's like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You can still grow organically. They've still done that and they're changing some stuff later, but Instagram's done that, and so now it's like if you want, you have to boost stuff. I guarantee if you boost a post, you'll get a ton more followers, but now you're having to pay to get that attention from other people now just to get on
right.
their platform. It's kind of annoying, but it's how they
Yeah,
make their money too. So it's like, eh. Um, so I think that's the reason you felt that. But let me ask you this: Has from that 2017 period to let's say pre-COVID,
yeah.
um, did that bring you business at all? I'm just curious more than anything.
I mean, I'd say not private practice business. I haven't gotten a lot of patients that way, which is fine by me because I think from a sales marketing perspective, it's good that they're not, because I feel like I'd be dealing with a lot of no shows and missed appointments and just wasting my time. It has brought me a lot of business from a KOL perspective and a lecturing
Sure.
consulting perspective. Countless companies, I would say I've done some stuff with, which I never would have if I wasn't on social media. You know,
Yeah,
the
100%.
the big implant stuff I've always had. I've always been with Dentsply and BioHorizons, and did a one-offs with Straumann and Nobel Biocare. Occasional ZimV and that type of stuff.
Yep.
But all the small ones, all your small
Yeah,
mouth rinses, your oral care products, your little toothbrushes, all that stuff. Man, that came just out of because of Instagram.
100%. And which makes sense for a smaller company too. Like every business needs to be on social media, but for them that's a great platform to grow quickly because $1 million of growth for a company that does $2 million is insane. You take a 500 million to $1 billion company and $1 million of growth is barely scratching the surface.
Right.
And
They
so
don't care.
they're going to have a massive impact on social media for sure. Um, well, one of the groups that you're actually associated with is actually have done a pretty solid job on social media for their organization. But I don't know if a lot of people know, but you sold your practice to MB2
Yeah.
a number of years ago. Correct? When was that? Because I think most people would be surprised by that. Number
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
specialist, and that's tends to be more general dentistry in
Yeah.
MB2 in DSOs in general. How did that happen, and what was that like?
Man, I would say it happened in 2020, right after COVID. And I would say I had so it started off as a lecturer. So I had lectured for MB2
Yep.
and Heartland and Aspen Dental and Great Expressions and Smile Brands
Hmm.
and all of them. That's what I do. I mean, you come to me, you want me to lecture for you, shoot me a proposal, we can do some business. But um MB2 was one that I had met, and I'd done some things for them down in Houston, Texas. And usually, when you're a lecturer for them, they always want to, hey, let us evaluate your practice and shoot you a number. And I've done this with a number of different DSOs, and of course, my perspective with DSOs is a lot different than a lot of people's. Other people associate DSOs with poor quality and poor quality for patients, poor quality of life for their doctors. I
Yeah.
always had a really good. I always had a really good experience because I was lecturing for them, and in my cocky brain, I was like, "Hey, if they're hiring somebody like me to lecture to their doctors, they can't be all that bad, right?" So, so I'm teaching teaching courses and stuff, and nothing too crazy, but just stuff that I would think that a general dentist would want to do. Well, eventually after COVID, they just were like, "Hey, we're just reaching out to you again. Want to shoot you a number." And by that time, I'd been out of work for what 8 weeks, like everybody else. I'm like,
Yeah.
hell, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting on my ass doing nothing. Go ahead. And they're like, send me, this report, this report, this report. It literally took me like I don't know an hour to gather up everything. And I shot it to them, thinking whatever they're gonna like give me like the worst offer ever. And they came back with this number, and I was like, I had to show Jen. I was like, I was like, they want this for 60 because they don't own my practice outright.
Sure.
We're partners. So I was like, they
Hmm.
want this for, you know, 60% of my practice. And she was like, what for 60% of it? I was like, yeah. So this was Easter weekend. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go down. They invited me and Jennifer down Easter weekend in 2020. And it was right after the whole
Did you go down
lockdown was
to
lifted.
where to Dallas to meet
Carrollton,
with them?
Texas, which is just outside Dallas. So Dallas, Texas, essentially, and we met everybody there. And I was like, "This is great," and then just for kicks and giggles, we were negotiating lease deals because I own my own building. We negotiated all this stuff and all like everything. I was like, "Well, how about this?" They would not say no to me. I was like, "Well, this number was pretty good, but how about a little bit higher?" They're like, "Sounds good." Now, do they do that for everybody? I don't know, but so far it's been over 4 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 2020, so yeah, I've been into it 5 years,
Yeah.
and they have yet to say no to me. It's been crazy. Like any
They're a really
crazy
cool
idea.
organization. I actually got to go to their office. Did you see the giant? I don't know if they had at the time the Batman statue. That's like
Yeah,
6 foot. That thing was
the ba-
sick. I was like, this place is for me.
I was in the office the day that Dr. V got Iron Man in there,
Oh,
and they
nice.
unwrapped it, and I was there with him when they were doing it. But anyway, it's just such a cool company. They really
Yeah, they are.
think differently, and I got to be honest. I don't think any. I've not run into any doctor owners or associates that have been unhappy. Like they really don't just say no. Like they're like, tell me about this. I mean, as an example, I bought all this podcasting equipment because I was like, you know what, I want to do this podcast with my buddies. You know them, Curry
I
Levitt and
do.
Brad Ross.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, will you guys buy this for me? 'Cause I just want to sit up here and promote." And they were like, "How much is it going to cost?" I was like, "Well, blah 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 blah. It's going to be this much." And they're like, "Yeah, sure, but we'll buy it." And they've done that. If I want to take
That's
a
awesome.
trip or take a group of guys out to dinner or whatever, they're just like, "Have at it." It's been surprisingly good.
Well, it sounds like my interactions with them and what I've seen from them, have all been great experiences. And I feel like they think outside the box. They don't
Absolutely.
have tunnel vision at all. They're open to different ideas. And I also think it's smart in the way that, they don't consider themselves a DSO. They're a DPO, dental partnership organization. So they
Yeah.
want their partner doctors to own a piece of the practice still, which to me as a business owner, and when I worked at other companies, like I always wanted a piece of the action. Why? And you wanted me to have a piece of the action so that like I had something I was building and growing with you and not just
Yeah.
showing up every day.
They want you to have a significant piece of the action, so
Yep.
for them, and I don't know if you want me to say this or not, or if I can,
I
but
don't care. You say
yeah,
whatever the hell you
yeah,
want.
no owner owns less than 20%. And at
Hmm.
20%, I mean, if you're talking about the types of practices they're buying, right? They're running these big EBITDAs of what, $500,000 at least. So if you're going, at the end of the year, I'm going to get an extra 100 grand or whatever because I own 20%. 100K is 100K. I don't care how
Yep.
rich you are. I mean, as a dentist anyway, I don't know anybody to where 100,000 bucks is nothing.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Nobody's
but
not
the
smiling getting that.
but the truth of the matter is, a lot of the practices they buy have EBITDAs, that are like, way more than that. So your 20% ends up being kind of a lot of money. So,
Oh yeah.
but anyway, and like you said, with a piece of the action, you're working harder, you're more motivated to save money, think outside the box yourself, and think about how you can grow the business together. And it's been really, yeah, I am shocked. I was sure that I was going to take all this money and in exchange for it trade some happiness. And
Yep.
I'm actually strangely surprised that I got all this money to where I could retire, but I don't want to because we're actually having fun. Like whenever I talk to my, business people at MB2, we actually have some fun conversations and
Hmm.
it's very productive. I love it. Yeah, it's been wild.
That's refreshing to hear, like a good experience, when selling your practice and continue to work like to a DSO, DPO, whatever you want to call them, because like that hasn't always been the case for a lot of them. I know tons of people have sold and be like, "What did I do?"
Dude,
later. And I think a lot of it's the control thing. Like they say they won't tell you what you can do or what you could buy or this or that, but that's not what ends up happening after about 6 months.
dude, so here's what happens. I'll tell you as a prime example. I told you my two big, implant contracts that I do business with is Dentsply Sirona and BioHorizons. They weren't always that way, right? If you go
Yep.
to a DSO, usually they're like, "Hey, we need you to place Blue Sky Bio or Implant Direct,
Yeah.
right? We need to save money, right?
Hmm.
And we need to raise fees and lower costs. So that's how we're going to do this." So how MB2 does it is when I first joined, they're like, "Hey, we just so happen to be, on your list is BioHorizons." I was like, "Oh, that's great. What's the discount?" And I was like, "Oh shit, their discount for MB2 is better than my discount as a speaker for them and I've been speaking for BioHorizons since 2005 or 2006, and their discount's better than mine." But then I was like, "Hey, look, guys, I've got a relationship with Dentsply Sirona too. I can't just cut them off." They're like, "Well, they're not on the list." And I was like, "But they can be on the list," and they set it up. They call them up and
Yep.
they're like, "Hey, how would you?" And then since I've joined, We've got deals with Nobel Biocare. We've got deals with
Hmm.
Straumann, which is notorious for not cutting anything, right? So if you want it, they're like, well, let's see if we can get them on board instead of saying no, you have to go put in this, cheaper,
Well,
discount product.
and if they want to play in that specialist market, you've got so many referrals who want this implant or that implant to restore. You got to be more open minded to that because it's not the same thing as a general dentist who's I'm placing and I'm restoring, and that's just a different ball game than
Yeah,
because average specialist probably has 5 systems in their practice. One primary, a secondary, and
yeah,
then
a
down the rung a
discount,
third,
whatever.
and then once in a blue moon, right? Kind of
Absolutely.
implant.
Dude, they've just
Yeah,
been so even with dental labs, they're like, we have our preferred labs. But
sure.
if I was like, hey, look, I'm working on my buddy Shane, can we use this guy over here? And I shit you not, I used a guy the other day. He charged us $1,200 for a single central incisor.
Damn,
I know, right? But they're like, hey, if it's going to make your thing better,
do
then
it.
do it. We don't want you doing it for everything, but if
Yeah, don't use it
1200
for a molar.
exactly. But if $1,200 is going to just make this case stand out and separate you from everybody else, and I was like, and it did.
And
I
then
use
do a
this.
post on it and tag MP2, and then
ME2, yeah, I use this case in my lectures. I used it for, and then I'm like, this is the lab, and since then we do work together. So it's like you said, they think outside the box, and then I'm shocked.
and if they got an Iron Man and a Batman statue in their office, they're cool by me anytime.
So
I'm
that's the
all in.
funnest thing. So yeah, so I'm naming stuff, after fat sack and sexual innuendo things. Everything in MB2 is named after Marvel comic stuff.
That's
So
awesome.
our software is Pepper, and something else is Jarvis. Like everything is like that. So I mean,
Nice.
is it quirky? Of course, but it's also fun.
Yeah, 100% it's fun. Well, all right. I want to get into wrestling, but you brought up Dr. Curry Levitt a second ago, and I have accused you guys of possibly being boyfriends. I don't know how your wife feels about that,
Dude,
but
I
I'm going to
I mean he
ask you
could
straight
be.
up.
He
Hold
could
on,
be.
hold on. True or true, Curry Levitt's your side piece?
I mean, I think a side piece is like somebody you don't know about, though, right? I mean, we're pretty open.
So I think true
It's
I give
true.
you two
True
options,
plus.
true or true. So we know
True
what it is.
plus.
True. I'm not going to go true plus. I get it. I love it, dude. I
No,
guess
I love
the
that
great
guy.
thing
You know
about
that.
owning my own company now is the only HR department I have to worry about is me, and I just checked in with myself, and we're good. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
Man, I don't care
All
either.
right, all right.
Like,
So
whatever.
let's go into a little game now, right? And this is in honor of the great Hulkster Hulk Hogan, right?
Yeah,
So
baby.
we're gonna talk a little bit about wrestling now. And so, what I want to do with you is we're gonna go. All right, this is like WrestleMania's Hall of Fame, like the biggest event they've ever done, and it's going to be 5 wrestlers versus 5 wrestlers in an epic, tag team match. And here's what we're going to do: we're going to draft wrestlers, and I want you to say who you're picking and why you're picking them, and then I'm going to pick based off that pick to try to counterbalance that the best I can,
I gotta
right?
get
But
a scratch
as the
sheet of paper.
guest, yeah, and I'll keep track of it too. So starting out, you got a lot of openness, got a lot of freeway here. Who is your number one guy? Who's the first guy you're going to draft and why?
I am going to draft Bill Goldberg.
Ooh,
Uh,
Goldberg.
Goldberg because he's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He went to high school literally I drove by his high school on the way every day from work.
And where do you
So
play college football?
oh
University of Georgia. Go
Georgia,
Bulldogs.
right? That's right. So that's who I'm going with. Undefeated streak in the WCW. Freaking Spear. You got to go
Spear
Goldberg.
is nasty, dude. Spear is nasty. And he would breathe in all the fireworks like smoke and then come out his nose. Like he was an absolute monster. And so I didn't think Goldberg would be the first pick. But like, I'm thrilled about that. I think it's a great pick. I think
I
he's
was
a
going to go
monster.
classic. I was going to go classic in the Hulkster era, but then I wanted to go Tulsa
Hey,
throwback.
well, that's pure rage and power right there. Not a lot of words. He was never a mic guy, but man, he was good. And so to counterbalance that, right? I
Okay.
could go Brock Lesnar, right? Like superpower, super quick to match that, but I'm not. I'm going to go with the man who broke his streak, another guy out of Atlanta, WCW, had the diamond cutter, had to do it to him twice to take him out.
DDP.
I'm going to go with Diamond Dallas Page, who now
Yeah.
teaches yoga and helps a lot of people out.
He's
Great dude,
amazing at yoga, dude. I
awesome guy.
follow.
Dude, he's phenomenal. So Diamond Dallas Page, I didn't know if I was going to get to pick him on my team, but I'm thrilled because he was awesome. Um, and you wouldn't expect that to be the matchup, but man, he beat him. So what can we
He's
say? He beat him.
he's he's on my list. I got to pick somebody else, by the way.
Oh, good, good. All right. So you've
Dang
got
it.
Bill Goldberg. I've got Diamond Dallas Page. We got the spear versus the diamond cutter. I mean, that's pretty legendary starting out. So who's going to be your second pick?
Dude, I don't know. Okay, this is hard. I'm gonna go with ah I
I mean, you
don't
have so
I
many.
feel like
Pick The Rock.
nah,
You could pick Hulk
I know.
Hogan.
The
You
Rock
could
is fine.
pick
The Rock is fine. We'll go with The Rock.
The
We'll go with
Rock,
The Rock. The Rock
which
is good. Good mic guy, good
oh,
longevity,
great mic guy.
icon, icon, guitar player, good troller.
He's a great
Ah,
heel. He's a great baby face. He's The Rock. He's the
uh,
biggest. He makes more in movies now than anybody else. Like his contracts
yeah.
are the highest. Like
I'll
every
go with The Rock. The Rock's
everybody likes
good.
The Rock. I would expect that you pick The Rock. I'm sad he's not on my team because I freaking love The Rock.
I like The
You
Rock.
smell what The Rock is cooking. Like talk about sexual innuendos. You know,
Always.
you want some poo-tang pie? Like he would always say those sort of things. I think on your team, The Rock is a no-brainer. Now, this one for me to counterbalance is probably as easy as it's going to get because they had some of the greatest matchups ever.
I
I
go John
happen to
Cena.
catch. Oh no 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 no! I happen to catch this man's beer can at the front row at a
Whoa!
WWE event
You're
a
going
long
Stone
time ago,
Cold.
20 years ago. We're going Stone Cold Steve
Stone
Austin.
Cold. There you go.
Austin
I like that.
316 says, I just whooped your ass. So you've
Yeah,
got Bill Goldberg and The Rock, strong star. I've got DDP and I've got Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I
you
like
got
where we're
Stone
headed so
Cold.
far.
Ooh,
I wonder if we're
bro.
gonna get any like high flyers or just giants in here too. I don't know. What's your third pick gonna be, buddy?
I was gonna go high flyer. Okay, if you want to go high flyer, I'm gonna go with uh Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Oh, what a pick here, guys. If you don't know who Jimmy Snuka is, Superfly, dude, that guy was
Oh,
crazy,
it-
unbelievably ripped. Dude, was one of the first innovative guys to do stuff off the top of the ring. Like insane. Great pick, dude. That's a great one. Man, who am I gonna pick? I'll go kind of the high flyer on this one too. Um man, there's some good choices. You
we
know
should have
what?
had categories. Apparently, we know too much about wrestling. We should have had
Yeah, that's all right. We're
categories.
making them up as we go. All right. So
Yeah,
that, I'm going to go Rey Mysterio Jr. Right. I could have gone Eddie Guerrero. I could have
Eddie
gone a
Guerrero,
few
yeah.
different ways,
Shawn
but Rey
Michaels,
Mysterio Jr. Yeah, you could consider Shawn Michaels there, but I
he
love Rey
was.
Mysterio Jr. He has actually won the heavyweight belt before.
Yeah,
As
a
you know,
little
I
guy.
like him because he's like 5'4", so he makes me at 5'6" look really tall.
Yeah,
Um, but dude's been in the game like 30 years and still flying
he's
off the top. I don't know how
badass.
he's still alive.
Yeah,
So, dude, we got some sick squads. You got Goldberg, The Rocks, and Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. I got DDP, Stone Cold, and Rey Mysterio Jr. Um,
yeah.
I I think here we should go either gigantic or out of their mind insane. I mean, there's a lot of choices there with wrestlers.
So we can go
I'll let you decide.
gigantic. We'll go gigantic. I'm going to go with world class wrestling's Kamala, the Ugandan giant.
Oh
Do you
my
remember him?
God. Barely. Kamala, the Ugandan giant. I know who you're
That
talking
dude
about.
was bad.
He was a bad dude. He was gigantic, right? Um, man, that you know, I don't know if that was your best pick. I'm not gonna lie,
Are you joking
but
right now? When I
I
was
could be
8 years
I could be
old,
wrong.
he's like this just huge, didn't talk a lot. I don't know, man. I think he was unstoppable for a little bit in world class wrestling. battled the Von Erichs, which is one of my
That's
favorites,
true.
one of my favorite wrestling families. I mean, I don't know.
It's your crew, man. It's your crew. Listen, I could go a lot of different ways. I could go like Kane. I could go the Undertaker. I
Oh,
could
you're
go the
going with
Big
those type of
Show.
bigs. Big
The Big
Show,
Show.
Mark
I
Henry.
could do that. I could go Mark Henry. That's a great one. But
Big Show would be good. I love
but I'm
that
gonna
guy.
go with the greatest giant to ever do it.
Andre.
Why they're called giants? He was also in one of my favorite movies ever, The Princess Bride. Andre the Giant.
That you
I
win
don't
this
know how
one. All
you're
right.
gonna beat that one. That's a big dude right there. He made beer.
Andre
He
the
used to. He looked like he had little toy beer cans, and he would crush like a case of 24 like it was nothing. Apparently,
yeah,
you got to
I
respect
agree.
that. All right,
You want to go with cheesy.
let's go cheesy or crazy, and we'll throw in a bonus pick as like the team manager at the end. So this is cheesy or crazy.
Cheesy or crazy, I'm gonna go with uh I don't know, man. I would say cheese.
It's tough.
The
It's
dude
tough.
that always made me kind of laugh was there's been a few, but I would say as a kid, Jake the Snake Roberts,
Jake the Snake Roberts is a great pick, dude. He
freaking
literally had a snake
goofy.
with him at all
Yeah,
times.
Jake the Snake was funny.
Man, that's a great pick. Super funny. Like that's a great one. Like you could go. What's the Million Dollar Man? Was it
Uh,
um,
Billionaire Ted
Ted
DiBiase.
DiBiase? You could go that way. I always
Rick,
had a preference for Val Venus.
oh,
Hello, ladies. Come on. He was a literal porn star who turned into a wrestler. That man, you could go even like the Ultimate Warrior because he was out of his mind crazy, or like a Randy Savage. Like
oh,
the
I
amount of
love Randy
cocaine those two
Savage.
did. Yeah, the amount of
Yeah.
cocaine those two did would be insane.
How did we not pick up Randy Savage? Yeah.
Well, you may
Make it
still
a
get
song.
your chance because I'm not picking him here. He could be your bonus pick. Who I'm going to pick, he was out of his mind, also really smart guy, but did the most insane stunts that I've ever seen. Not in good shape, not ripped like Jake the Snake. Uh, but I'm going to go, and I could go call him Cactus Jack. I could call him a lot of different names. What was it? Oh, Mankind. We're going to call him Mankind because that was my
Yeah.
heyday when he
Yeah.
got thrown off the cage by the Undertaker. Wild. So I'm going to go with
Oh,
Mankind and I'm liking my squad right now. We got Bill Goldberg, we got The Rock, we got
yeah.
Superfly on
Dude,
your squad.
Mankind
Yeah,
is God. You won the last year. Mankind is good,
I'm
dude.
doing pretty
It's
good.
tough.
I'm doing pretty good right now. But let's rehash real quick before you get your bonus pick. This could be the guy that runs in at the last second and wins the match or whatever. You got Bill Goldberg, The Rock, Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Kamala the Giant, and you got Jake the Snake Roberts. And I've got DDP, Stone Cold, Rey Mysterio Jr., Andre the Giant, and Mankind. And so we're both going to get one more bonus pick, right?
Let's
Who
go.
is your bonus pick?
Shoot, man. I'm gonna go with I don't know, man. I like Randy Savage, dude.
I love it, dude.
I like Randy. I
Nobody better
want.
than that.
We need one more though. After one more category after this, and that's gonna be
All right, I'll
favorite.
let you pick. We got to make the rules here. We'll do whatever we want. So this is
It's gonna be
our bonus. We're gonna go to 7. Okay,
after
but
yours is we're gonna go favorite female wrestler because you know it's
I
gotta be
think that is a great idea, and I only know a couple of them, so the list is
what
gonna be short. I don't know that many of them. I'm sorry. Um, so Randy Savage, love it. Snap into a Slim Jim. He was in the Spider-Man movie. His promo cuts were the craziest, most insane ever. Now, listen, I was thinking about just honoring Hulk Hogan, but we're just gonna say he's on pedestal. He can sit over here.
yeah. This whole thing is Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a match to honor Hulk Hogan. So you got Randy Savage there, but I'm gonna go with my man, the diamond wearing, leather shoes
Oh,
wearing, limousine riding. Woo! Ric Flair, baby. That's who I want right here. Ric freaking Flair. So
you
I
got
love
it.
this pick. I love this pick. Right? I'm really
That's a
loving my squad right now.
that's a great pick.
All right.
That's a great pick.
So I gotta say, dude, I think my squad's winning right now. I'm just gonna
Uh,
say it.
I
But
ain't gonna lie. I think I'm pretty sure Jimmy Snuka beats Rey Mysterio. But yeah, I think he got
I
me.
I think
Randy
you're probably
Savage,
right.
Ric
I think it's a
Flair,
draw.
you
I'd probably
got me
lean Bill
there.
Goldberg over DDP on every match, right? Like I just think he's too
Okay.
strong. The Rock and Stone Cold complete draw.
You got
I
me with
think I got
Andre the
Andre the
Giant.
Giant and Mankind is doing it for me. So I'm
But
not really that far ahead. Ric Flair,
those are
Randy
clear ones.
Savage, either way, right?
And Ric Flair's
Uh,
better. And he's got the everybody's
woo, yeah.
yes.
If you're
And
in
the
your car right
robes,
now,
all
give me
those
a
robes, the
Ric
sunglasses.
Flair. Listen, if you're in your car right now, give me a Ric Flair. Woo!
Yeah, exactly. Everybody knows what you're doing.
You know they're doing
Yeah.
it too. All right,
Yeah.
so I only like a couple of female wrestlers now, and
I only
so
know I watched it all, man. I was a tool, I guess.
well, I think I don't know. Maybe I'm sexist. But I just didn't enjoy the matches much, or my mom wouldn't let me watch because they weren't wearing much clothes. I'm not sure which one
No.
it was, but you're the guest. Who's going to be yours? I'm hoping you don't pick mine.
I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar's wife, Sable.
Okay, I do know Sable, and that was a
You
great
know
choice.
Sable.
Sable was super hot. She was a great wrestler, a great champion. Um, that's an excellent choice. And so I'm going to go with the only option that I can beat Plaquechyna with. And I'm just going to cut the plaque out and go straight to China because I'm not
Oh.
sure she was a woman, but I do know she was the most powerful wrestler for the female side that I've ever seen. And frankly, she could compete with the guys and legitimately do power bombs and crazy stuff with him. So
She did.
listen, all right, I'm going to recap the squads real quick, and everybody at home can decide who won this battle of wrestlers. So
Ooh.
David's team is Bill Goldberg, great pick. The Rock, great pick. Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Kamala the Ugandan giant, still blowing my mind to pick that one.
Dude,
Jake the
he's
Snake
badass.
Roberts,
Look him up, man.
Randy Savage, the Macho Man, great pick there. And then his female wrestler is Sable, which you can't argue with Sable. What a great choice. But my team, Diamond Dallas Page to counterbalance Goldberg, Stone Cold Steve Austin to kick the Rock's ass, Rey Mysterio Jr. to get up on the top ropes, Superfly.
Yep.
Andre the Giant's going to crush Kamala. I don't care what you say. You'll never
Probably
convince me
true.
otherwise. And then I've got Mankind. He's going to get Sacco and shove it right in Jake the Snake's mouth. And
Freaking
you can bite
Sacco, man.
Mankind. You could bite Mankind with a snake 1,000 times, and he's not going to flinch. He's out of his mind, psycho.
Oh my
Um,
god.
and I got the king of the woo, Ric Flair, to go against crazy Randy Savage, which that I would love to see that match, by the way. And then I've got China to just power bomb Sable through a table. And I gotta say it's close, but I think I got you with Mankind and Ric Flair over Randy Savage and Jake the Snake and Andre the Giant over Kamal. Maybe I actually love Randy Savage. I think him or Ric Flair, that could go either way. But
You got.
Mankind's going to beat Jake the Snake. Come on.
I'm gonna. I think I got. I think you got me. I think you got me at least 4-3. So.
Well, maybe next time you'll think a little better before you come against Shane in a
uh,
wrestling ring.
I
Actually,
know.
shout out to Caleb, the Smile Slammer on Instagram. He's a buddy of both of ours. He's
Dude.
actually a pro wrestler out here in Oklahoma, and he said if he's doing an event and I'm out there, he would get us in the ring. And David, I will let you hit me with a chair. I'll hit you with a chair, and I'll let you choke slam or powerbomb me through a table.
Dude, we
Guaranteed.
need to like come off the top rope. That'd be so
I want
fun.
to walk again, and I'm not what I used to be. So I don't know if I
Oh.
could come off the top rope. I could take a hit. I don't know if I could do that. I'm worried about my knees, not my head. There's no brains in there anyway, so I'll be
Well,
fine.
I would drop kick you, but I don't have much of a air
I,
attack.
I've got the Scott Hall punch down, by the way, because it's where you slap the leg as you
Yeah.
throw the fist. I
Yeah.
worked on that for a long time, so I wish I could have put Scott Hall on this team, but he
Dude,
wasn't one of
there's
the greats. He
so
was just one of my
many.
friends.
There's
Oh,
so
dude.
many. You got like the whole NWO. You got the Four Horsemen. You got
By the way, my favorite Hulk Hogan moment ever is actually when he turned heel and went NWO with
NWO.
Kevin
Yeah.
Nash and Scott Hall. That was something special.
Those guys. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool,
Dang
man.
it, man. There's so many honorable mentions too.
You're not gonna sleep all night. You're gonna be like, man, I should have picked this
I
person. I
should have
should have
picked
did that.
Rain.
Could
I
have beat
could
me.
have had Randy Orton.
Randy Orton, great choice. Great choice.
Dang it.
We'll come up. We'll have to do this again. This
Dude,
maybe at next, if they ever do DIA again, this should be like an on stage thing.
yeah,
Like, why
demonstrate
not?
your favorite wrestling move, and then I'd
Yeah.
get you in the camel clutch.
The camo clutch. I would put you in the Scorpion Deathlock because Sting's not on my list, and
Oh,
Sting's one of my
I
favorites
know.
ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we
Oh,
didn't say
camels.
Bret Hart. We didn't say Chris Jericho. We didn't like. There's so
Yeah,
many
there's
guys
so
out
many,
there.
bro. So
But
many.
well, David, I've enjoyed this. It's great catching up with you. I appreciate you coming on for the 100th episode. Rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. And guys, we'll catch you on the next episode of the All In Practice Growth Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the All In Podcast. See you next time.